odds, expectation, and fairness. In addition to talking about probability, we can also talk about something called odds. The concept of odds and probability are actually related, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. When we're talking about odds, we also distinguish between odds for and odds against. The odds for a particular event to occur is the ratio of the number of favorable outcomes to the number of unfavorable outcomes. So the odds for event A occurring are the number of ways that A can occur divided by the number of ways that A does not occur. Or another way of saying it is that the odds for event A are the number of favorable outcomes divided by the number of unfavorable outcomes. Sometimes odds are stated as a ratio, so it's the number of favorable outcomes, then a colon, and then the number of unfavorable outcomes. So that's when you hear sometimes people say 2-to-1 odds. So the odds that a football team will win the championship might be 3-to-2. This means the team has 3 chances of winning and 2 chances of losing. The odds against a particular event occurring is the ratio of the number of unfavorable outcomes to the number of favorable outcomes. So basically we've turned the odds upside down from the odds for. So the odds against event A happening are the number of ways event A does not occur divided by the number of ways that event A does occur. Or another way of saying it is the odds against event A are the number of unfavorable outcomes divided by the number of favorable outcomes. Or, written as a ratio, the number of unfavorable outcomes, colon, the number of favorable outcomes. So that's the number of unfavorable outcomes to the number of favorable outcomes. In this example, the odds against a player who bet 0 in roulette are 36-to-1. This means the player has 36 chances of losing and only 1 chance of winning. Let's talk now about the difference between probability and odds. When we were talking about the probability of an event A happening, we talked about the number of ways that event A can occur, so that's similar to the odds for an event, but instead of dividing by the number of unfavorable events, we divide by the total number of possible outcomes. So that's the number of favorable outcomes divided by the number of favorable outcomes plus the number of unfavorable outcomes. The odds that the basketball team will win the next game are 4-to-3. What is the probability that the basketball team will not win the next game? So let's take this apart. They say the odds of them winning are 4-to-3. The 4 represents the chances to win, and the 3 represents the chances that they lose. We're looking for the probability that the team will not win the game, so the number of chances that they don't win is 3. We divide that by the total number of chances, which is 4 plus 3. So we have a 3/7 chance that they will not win the game. Add this to your memory aid. Try the practice questions in the workbook and check your answers against the answer key.